There was a bombshell that was dropped. It says 45 million views over on X. This courtesy of Tulsi Gabbard. It says, today on my final day of the Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never before seen communications and documents exposing how Dr. Fauci provided millions of US taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab, worked with politicized elements within the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions and hide the virus's lab leak origins, and lied to Congress while under oath in 2024. It's time you know the truth.
Before we play though, like on my last day, so now that I can't do anything about it, here's the thing everyone knew for years. Have fun, guys. Peace.
Yeah, I have strong feelings about the idea of releasing it on your last day, literally your last hour, and then be like, well, see you later. You know, like I have strong feelings about that.
This will shock absolutely no one, but I hate the government. And this is one of the so-called outsiders too. Like, this is one of the edge cases coming in here, gonna change shit. Nah.
Let's see what Tulsi Gabbard had to say here in this 5-minute video, and we'll sit and stop and react. You guys stop at any time. Let me know.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic.
Do you guys remember during COVID when they were saying, look, this came from a bat, but it definitely, and by the way, this came from Wuhan, China. And yes, there's a Wuhan place where they mess with all sorts of diseases, but it came from across the street from that at the Wuhan wet market. Do you guys remember that nonsense?
Yeah, and Jon Stewart is a propagandist, but he had a hilarious bit on that. Have you seen the Jon Stewart bit where he's going on about pangolins and shit like that?
Yes,
ripping that whole thing apart. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, no. Yeah, it totally didn't come from the fucking research station right next to the wet market. It's totally the wet market. Those damn Chinese people eating their bats and shit.
And like, how racist is that? Like all these crazy Chinese people eating their bats over here. But whatever, let's continue here.
Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless
Pause
lost
for one
lives.
second, too. But yeah, talking about how bad Fauci is and stuff, this is also after they let, like, pardon aside, because people have been talking about whether or not you can even go after him because of the pardon, but this is coming out after, and again, it's stuff everyone knew anyway, but now it's coming from the government officially, but this is coming out after the statute of limitations ended on some of his, like, on lying to Congress or whatever. So they let the stuff that I don't know if he was pardoned for lying to Congress, but anyway, they let that lapse, and now they're like, hey, Fauci's bad, now that they can't do anything about it. It's very frustrating.
Look, I have had many thoughts when it comes to COVID. Adam, early host of the show, he had been banned on YouTube for things that he said he had 9 different strikes on his channel saying things that were later deemed acceptable and truthful. We've all seen the insanity and remember the insanity. And I think it's important. We're going to have some examples of that a little bit later here.
Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath, he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume 3 key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines, worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind.
Pause that just for a second. Just want to fast forward a little bit. Remember,
Too fast, too forward.
So she's talking about funding. It's all built around money. We all know it's all about money. Do you remember who the big sponsor of everything was?
The single most respected voice in the pandemic.
Oh, 1 second, real quick. This is
Like Pfizer?
yes, it was absolutely Pfizer. 100%.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Yep. Yes, brought to you by Pfizer. Everywhere, constantly, and here it is right here. This is what we saw constantly all the time when it came to this.
And now a CBS Sports Update brought to you by Pfizer.
Meet the Press Data Download, brought to you by Pfizer.
This portion of CBS This Morning sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, so you get the idea. We all get the idea. Now, remember that as we move ahead here, and remember the outlets that those were on.
Worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind the scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available.
He became, remember, he was the go-to when it came to this. He was the God, Phoenix, he was the God, King, Emperor of COVID.
Like a real one, yeah.
Yes,
He sure
he was.
was.
And as a matter of fact, the media would tell you that.
The single most respected voice in the pandemic. It's Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Who's become known
They
as
had
America's
candles of
doctor.
him.
The nation's top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci.
You are seen to many as a superhero.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, American hero and New York Yankee fan.
You've done so much for this country in terms of this crisis, so I really appreciate your insight.
Who better to give us answers that we can trust than Dr. Anthony Fauci?
The perfect person to answer our questions today. Joining us now, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes,
crash
yes,
out
Phoenix.
very close.
No, King, go for it, brother.
I'm glad, as much as that guy needs to be held accountable, I'm also very glad that he did just fade away, because I had forgotten how much I hate that fucker. Like, wow. And all the freaking over-the-top praise and trying to, like, superhero and hero and savior. I am the science. I'm the science, guys. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah, that's
science.
a total flashback. And yeah, no, that was obnoxious. Like, I was way engaged in the COVID stuff at the time. Shout out to everyone who was on the right side of that. I saw chat patting themselves rightfully on the back. They're like, hey, but yeah, no, everyone who was on the right side and called that shit out from the very start. Good job, guys. But yeah, no, even I had forgotten just how freaking blatant and over the top it is. Like, oh, he's a superhero. I'd forgotten just how freaking ridiculous they were treating him.
Oh, and real quick, I just
Yes.
want to remind everyone, because this is something that a lot of people forget, was that when this C-19 thing came out originally, and Trump had said, hey, maybe we need to stop gatherings, like in even like showing like Chinatown, like, hey, we shouldn't be gathering, da-da-da-da. What did the other side do? They did the polar opposite. They actually, Nancy Pelosi, everybody went out in Chinatown into large crowds. They're saying like, there's nothing going on. What are you talking about? And then watch how fast that then shifted, because the narrative shifted, then Trump was going the other way. It's if like you don't look at that and just go like, wow, everyone's just lying to me. Again, I don't know what is required for these people to wake the fuck up. For people who call themselves woke, they're sure are in a coma sleep. Good Lord.
I am glad that this is out. I'm glad that this has 45 million views. I'm glad that this is they're validating everything that everybody already knew. I'm glad that they're doing that. But what are you going to do about it? Don't just say that on your way out, right? What is going to be done about this? This is an event that fucked over literally everybody in the entire world. It stems from one dude who was making all this stuff built around the back of making money. By the way, the highest paid person in the American government, if you recall, when Fauci was there. Jennifer, founder of XXXY, says Fauci was the arsonist, and he turned right around to play the hero firefighter. And oh, how we love fawning praise. How I'd love to see justice here. Will we see any justice done in this situation at all?
I think it depends.
Not from the government.
If Trump can figure, I think right now all focus is going to be like on the midterms. But after that, if the midterms go this administration's way, I wouldn't be surprised if they start figuring out these like other side problems. They start looking into maybe if they can overturn the auto pen thing and showing like that can't work. Those pardons are nullified. If that can happen, or if they attack it from a different legal perspective or strategy, you might see it. But I see this as more towards the end of this administration, not something toward, especially not now as the midterms are going to be coming up, because that's an issue you don't want to start riling, like making people angry.
Well, I saw this video.
Joe Biden even alive?
Yes.
I haven't heard from him in a minute, have we?
Yeah. He's Joe Biden.
Exactly.
He gets wheeled out. He gets wheeled out every once in a while.
Yeah, I think he recently started like tapping a microphone and they wheeled him out of there. It was at an event with Obama, I believe.
Does he blow on his ice cream in case it's too cold or something?
That was crazy. Remember those years where they pretended he was president? That was really interesting. I mean, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. I remember this very vividly. This right here. And you were talking about how Keen, you were saying you forgot the praise and the fawning over Fauci, right?
Forgot how
I guarantee
extreme it was,
this.
yeah.
This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
A pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is an epidemic that's occurring in the unvaccinated.
We're seeing a pandemic among the unvaccinated.
This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
We have a pandemic among the non-vaccinated. We have a pandemic because of the unvaccinated.
We could have Minecraft them.
Infuriating.
I sent Joe link if you want to see his candle, by the way, if you want.
Oh yeah, the Fauci candle. Yeah,
Saint Fauci candle.
Yes. The Saint Fauci candle. I have seen this before.
I put in the program.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's see, make sure. Yes, here it is right here. This is definitely something that needs to be done there and ordered by everybody. The Saint Fauci candle. How unbelievable! Now, this has 45 million views over on X, and this once again speaks to the importance of X many times over, because you may be saying to yourself, hey, this is a major story. Well, this person has done a breakdown of all the major TV networks' airtime given to this story, and wouldn't you know it, it's exactly what you think it would be. Fox gave it 48 minutes, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, and NBC a total of 0 minutes right here. 0 minutes.
I wish we had like comparisons. That would be an interesting thing to look up. Like how much they did the government freaking lying to us and, like you said, destroying the lives of everyone in the entire freaking world versus talking about when a black kid stabbed a white kid to death at a track meet or something like that, which is an important story because of the reactions to it, but it's not on the same level. And I can guarantee you they all talked about it more, including Fox.
We have this also says, did they cover Tulsi's declassification? Legacy Media, AP, no. CNN, no. All the way down the Washington Times, New York Times, no. But they felt the need to do the story about Father's Day, right? Washington Post, no. Lies by omission. What do they say? I remember that. Silence is violence. Heard that all the time, especially during that time, 2020. Silence is violence.
Riots are peace.
ABC News, CBS, NBC, USA Today, New York Times. They're literally killing people by not talking about this story. Congratulations, guys. Silence is violence here. Even Tulsi Gabbard over on X says, seeing who is choosing not to report on this story tells the story here. I mean, that's it. It tells you everything you need to know about this. But they are reporting on a lot of other things, or mainly one other thing happening in the world right now. There's a lot of big stories. This thing happening over in Britain with the graping over here and the 250,000. The evidence of Fauci and the gain of fund research right here. The illegal alien who tried to blow up the White House UFC event. But did you see the algae and the reflecting pool right here? I remember when Trump first came out and he started using fake news. He's like, you are fake news, whatever, right? And I remember thinking like, what the hell is this guy talking about? That's really audacious and really like that's a big statement right there. You're fake news. You're like, what you're doing is propaganda. And then you start seeing stuff like this and you go, oh, and then you start waking up a little bit and you go, oh yeah. Because once again, I have a background in journalism here. I went to school to write news and to tell news stories long time ago. And I was taught to never be a part of the story and to tell the story as down the middle as you possibly can. And maybe I was in the last class that was ever taught that. Maybe that's the case. I just didn't believe it. But then you see this and you see the overwhelming just lies by omission, the sheer slant that you see on every channel, Fox, CNN, NBC, go down the list, whatever. There's always a slant associated with it, a political slant. And it's sad. It's honestly sad. And with all this, I just simply go back to, great, what's going to be done? Tulsi Gabbard said, she also said on X that there's a path to prosecution because of the auto pen thing, right? But, well, the likelihood of anything happening here before Fauci's dead, 1%. I do not have a whole lot of faith when it comes to this. Phoenix,
there's a path to prosecution. Just do it, meme. Just do it.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said before, towards the end of this administration, should we win the midterms, I'll speak for myself. Should this administration win the midterms, that I wouldn't be surprised on the way out, that last 6 to 8 months, that you start seeing a couple of things start rolling out. You just can't do it right now. That's not the thing. Like, that's not our path right now. We got to really focus on the midterms.
But likewise,
I put it at 25% chance.
They might tease it before the midterms too, though. Like, that could be part of the October surprise as they ramp up the we're totally gonna do it this time, guys, before the midterms.
Well, as much as I want to hope that we're out of clown world, you see things like this, and we are still very much entrenched in the insanity that is everything going on, and the holdover from COVID. I mean, like, look, I have family members who are like trying to buy houses, and we also saw the price hike and the wealth transfer, everything that happened right there. Like, it's impossible to do any of those things now, especially like for. I mean, I honestly have sympathy for these kids who are getting out of, are entering the workforce for the first time, and they have these dreams of owning a house. It's like, good fucking luck. It's insane and honestly sad. And like I said, literally everybody should be pissed because this affected everybody on Earth. Everybody on Earth was affected by COVID in some way, shape, or form. Prosecute the fuck out of it. That's my stance on this.
Yes, prosecute them. Yes, we have to prosecute them all.
Hit that subscribe button right here and watch another video right here.